Well, we are gathered here today to learn a little bit about my personal branding journey and how Operation Hope plays into the larger picture of my story. My name is Déshané Velasquez, and I'm sure you're wondering, who is she? Well, I am an international professional social scholar. And as you can see, right now, as an Operation Hope Youth Empowerment Fellow, I am living my dreams. I am a published researcher, and I'm also a global leader. But I bet you're wondering, how did I even get here? Well, I had to start somewhere, right? So, in high school, what I did was I applied. My undergraduate journey has been funded by the Bank of America Joan Martin Scholarship Foundation, the Sigma Omega Omega Legacy of Sisterhood Scholarship Foundation, the Goizetta Scholarship Foundation, as well as the Word of Faith Scholarship Foundation. But after high school, going into college as a freshman, I knew that I wanted to get involved. So how I did that was I pledged Delta Sigma Pi, which is a professional fraternity, so that I could learn the ins and outs of how to be a young professional and well respected. Along the way, I also decided to serve as a representative of my story as an honors college student as a founding honors college ambassador. Then in 2014, I tested the waters. Hey, how was I even supposed to know what I like to do anyways? So I interned with Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp in New York City under the Business Development Department. And I also started researching in 2014 under the Andrew Young School of Policy Studies Dean's Office, where I work under Dr. Cynthia Searcy. We have a total of 3 projects to date. The first one was a study on charter systems, which is a published work. The second one was a study of childhood obesity misreporting trends. And the third one, which is my thesis, is a study on parental incarceration and links child contact to program participation, which leads to increased employment outcomes among parental inmates. After getting some experience, I decided that I wanted to explore. So I went to France for 5 months and I lived. But not only that, I also traveled to Amsterdam, Milan, as well, Venice, and Barcelona, which was my favorite city, but I also got to stop through and pass by Brussels as well. As you can see, here are a few of my pictures abroad in Amsterdam, Venice, Barcelona, like I said, which was my favorite. But I can't forget Paris. And I also have some interest in fashion. And these exclusive pictures are of some original Christian Lacroix pieces from Paris Fashion Week. Now that you know a little bit about who I am, let's talk about my professional side. I attend Georgia State University, graduating next week, and I have a 3.8 out of 4 GPA to date. As I've already said, I've traveled abroad, but while there, I studied at the Université de Versailles, Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines, and I also, as you know, am a fellow with Operation Hope. I've also worked as a research assistant under Dean Searcy, and I have 1 published work to date and 1 currently I'm working on right now, which is my thesis. Aside from that, I've also presented in a number of conferences, and I was nominated as a Rising Star award nominee in 2014. As well, I am involved with the Georgia Economic Developers Association. I'm sure you know that I went to France, like I just said, but I'm also fluent in French. And I'm proficient in IBM SPSS and STATA. Okay, so you know that I'm professional, but I have a life too. So I have a social media handle of over 7,000 followers across Instagram, also Facebook, and LinkedIn. Well, it's great that I have all these followers, but how does that help Operation Hope? Well, you may have seen many of my blog posts on the Operation Hope blog website that have all gone viral. As you can see, my latest post had a total of 32 Facebook shares and 5 LinkedIn shares at the time that I made this presentation, but actually I checked last night and those stats are 33 Facebook shares and 7 LinkedIn shares to date. And that post was on a STEM Wars event here in Atlanta that I represented Operation Hope at, where this event was the largest event in America that served predominantly low-income, minority, or first-generation students that were interested in STEM fields. Aside from that, you may have seen one of my posts on our very own youth empowerment group's events, similar to our pitch competition events. We just had a pitch competition at Berean Christian Academy, and that event got 23 Facebook shares. And Jamel Soul, the other fellow, and I also represented Operation Hope together at the Meadow Creek Career Expo, which got 33 Facebook shares and 4 LinkedIn shares. So, now that I've talked about how I've benefited Operation Hope, I'm sure you're wondering, how is Hope helping me? Well, first, and the best part, is that I don't get to eat ramen noodles every night as a starving college student because I get to work here and get money. Also, aside from that, I learned what on time means. Thanks, Jessica. And I also might have a potential opportunity to travel, which, as you already know, I love to do, where I'm hopefully going to go to LA in the summer. And this brings me to my last point, which is that I'm graduating in May. And I'm excited to see what the next chapter holds for me. And at this time, I would like to share with you my Scholar segment, which incorporates my graduation announcement video. Thank you for watching my graduation announcement video. And now I would like to take this time to thank my amazing mentor and supervisor, Jessica Washington, for making this presentation and many of the opportunities that Operation Hope has allotted me possible. Thank you, Jessica.